Can you beat every shrine in Breath of the Wild without jumping or gliding? If you haven't seen the first video where I covered the Divine Beasts and main story, you can check that out here. But let's quickly recap the rules. No pressing the X button. This means no jumping, gliding, flurry rushing, dashing, shield surfing, Revali's Gale, or anything of the sort. For my editing self's sake, I'm going to go through the shrines mostly in the order I completed them in, but I will group a couple together if they fit into a nice category. There are also a lot of easy shrines, especially in the beginning, that I don't think I need to cover, such as the apparatus shrines where you stand and control a platform, or blessing shrines, so I won't waste your time mentioning those. With all that covered, we can start with shrines 5 and 8, Twin Memories. Most of the pain of these shrines come from climbing a mountain 2 separate times. I can't jump while climbing, and it's have to painstakingly sit there and wait. I can occasionally whistle sprint up the mountain, but that doesn't always work. After finishing the first shrine, I tried to run off the edge and catch the other mountain, but I missed and hit the river and had to climb a whole other mountain. There were a whole lot of easy shrines, so let's just skip to Shrine 15, a minor test of strength. The tests of strength were quite weird, but all very possible. If you didn't know, there are 6 minor, 6 modest, and 8 major tests of strength, and they took some getting used to. In my casual playthrough, I would deal with any normal attack by flurry rushing, which I can't do, and during this attack I would glide up and shoot the guardian, which I also can't do. Instead, I found a much easier solution. If you use a two-handed weapon and just start spinning, you deal massive damage to the robot, and it's very easy to dodge their attacks. This would usually fully take out the minor tests and modest tests, but major tests were a bit trickier. They would often jump away and start their laser attack, and instead of gliding up to rain arrows from bullet time, I instead just rained arrows from the sideline. I also sometimes launched a shock, fire, or ice arrow to stun the robot before using my weapon again. This strat was so easy to use, and it took a lot less time than usual, so I'd recommend it even to casual players. Shrines 23 through 25 are the Korok trials, and 2 of them are pretty easy. Following the metal path and stalking this random guy was pretty much the same as normal. But the test of wood was a little weird. I've always used Revali's Gale on this section because it ends in a massive bog and there are a ton of annoying enemies. Since there's not a boat or anything, I was forced to build Cryonis blocks the entire way there, and it took forever. Shrine 35 was the Lomai Labyrinth, and it's definitely the hardest maze of the 3. You're intended to glide, and I was hoping I wouldn't just have to use Cryonis blocks to get over there. Thankfully, after climbing down, I found a boat to sail over there with, and there's also a shore down below, which is an interesting touch. I had stocked up on stamina food before coming, so right at the end when I ran out of stamina, I was able to save the climb. My strat for clearing mazes is usually to climb to the top and then paraglide down into the optimal spot to find the shrine. This works pretty similarly in the challenge, except after climbing up, I just run off the edge and catch the next wall to climb up instead of paragliding across. And when I wanted to drop down, I just made sure to catch the wall before hitting the bottom to cancel fall damage and collected my blessing. Shrine 36, Trial of Power. It's incredibly easy right until the end. If you hit this switch, you get launched up, but you can't move in the air, so I don't know how you get on the ending platform. If you come onto the platform with momentum, then you get launched in that direction, but even when you run an attack, it stops you in place. To get around this, I threw a bomb behind the switch and ran at the platform, which worked, but I had too much momentum and bonked my head. Instead, I had to wait on the platform, activate the bomb, and move slightly as it rose to create the perfect momentum and finish the shrine. Shrine 39, Shift and Lock. This shrine wasn't particularly difficult, and I beat it in around 15 seconds. I magnesised the box, stasid it in the air, and then ran off the platform to collect the key and finish the puzzle. There's a whole setup to stasis a block at the top, but it's funny how unnecessary it is. If you're enjoying the video and want to see more videos like this, then make sure to subscribe. Thank you. Shrine 41 was activated from the Gut Check Challenge. I thought it would be hard or even impossible considering the time limit and the fact that I can't jump up while climbing. While I might be able to get to the top, I don't know if I can pick up enough rupees on the way to clear the challenge. Thankfully, this game was made for children, so I finished with 45 seconds remaining. Shrine 42, Drop and Rise, took some extensive problem solving. First, to get on this platform, I couldn't just run on it, so instead I ran onto the thing in the middle and used the extra height to get on the platform. I then needed to raise the metal box and drop it onto the other platform before quickly starting to run to gain momentum and get launched up to the ending platform. Shrine 52, Halt the Tilt. I brought this chest over to the final area as intended, but instead of placing it on the rotating platform to keep it in place, I instead dropped on the other end to launch me into the air. It was extremely precise, but eventually managed to land on the final rotating platform and somehow not fall off. Shrine 61 is unlocked after freeing Nature the dragon. I was pretty worried about this side quest, as you're supposed to glide after the dragon to 4 different locations and then use bullet time to hit the eyes. To take out the first eye, just shot it from the ground. I then ran up the mountain and got on the tallest icicle. I tried to shoot at the eyes, but it was too hard without bullet time, so when the dragon came close enough, I ran off the edge and got the second eye in bullet time. I tried to climb back up and shoot more eyes, but they were surrounded by a purple shield until Nature reached the next spot. For the final 2 eyes, I basically just climbed down the mountain and found a tree close enough to the dragon so that I could let go and shoot the eyes. That's thankfully the end of the ordeal, and I got teleported back up the mountain to receive my blessing. Shrine 70. Rona Kachta's Blessing. There are guardians upon guardians in this temple, and instead of being able to glide past them like usual, I have to run. If you didn't know, because no one runs through here, there are gaps in the floor, so I have to fall and climb out of each of these. Since climbing is so slow, I ended up having to parry almost all of the guardians so they wouldn't blast me while I was defenselessly climbing. It took me much longer than usual, but it was more tedious than difficult. Shrine 92, Shields from Water. When I first found this shrine, I messed around for 5 minutes and marked it as impossible. But after several hours of problem solving in other shrines, I had some more ideas. The main problem is getting over this first ledge. I can build Krynos blocks up here, but the ledge is just too big to step up. I originally tried using a bomb to launch me up the ledge, but I never got enough height. To fix this, I put a Krynos block in the corner and used the wall to stack both the bombs and detonate them to finally knock me up into the rest of the shrine. I quickly made my way through it into the final challenge of this massive gap. Thankfully, after placing a Krynos block placed as far up as possible and blowing up a bomb, I just barely ragdolled onto the final platform. Shrine 101, A Balanced Approach, is located in the middle of a lava lake. Thankfully, there are some tall mountains surrounding the shrine, and even though I can't glide down, I can launch myself with a bomb. It's a far drop, but I can take the damage with Mipha's grace. It's a bit harder than it looks because the landing is slanted, and most of the time I just roll into lava, but I got it after a couple of minutes. Last but not least is Shrine 102, Stalled Flight. Even if I'm running when the platform launches me, I go up and fall at the same speed as this concrete block, so I can't get on it. I toyed around with different solutions for a while, but eventually figured out that if I get launched next to this wall, I can go into bullet time and blow myself up with a bomb arrow, slowing me down enough to get on the platform. From there, I stasis the block at the top and blew myself up into the final room. In total, I completed 109 shrines, leaving just 11 left, so let's see what's in them. First up is Ta Lo Neg's Teachings. This shrine teaches you how to flurry rush and parry, and I can't flurry rush without jumping. These shrines are hard-coded, so the Guardian will only take specific types of damage, meaning that even if I attack the Guardian, it won't do anything. Next up is Power of Fire, where I get stuck right at the beginning. I can set these leaves and boxes on fire, but I can't get up on this ledge. By using Magnesis on a shield and running into the torch, I can slowly push it to the ledge, but it's still not enough height to get onto the ledge. You can't climb the leaves, and you walk straight through weapons, so I can't create a metal ramp, so I'm all out of ideas. Or so I thought. I encountered this shrine pretty early on, and it was before I had to mess around with bombs. While writing the script, I realized I hadn't tried blowing myself up in the hope something happens. So I went back, and after a minute or two, I did this. And then I found the same obstacle in the next room, but without the flame. But I managed to do it again and finish the shrine. Sing Swing is next, and I did the exact same thing. The first part of this shrine is pretty easy, and all I need to do is add a little more momentum to these swings to run onto them and reach the hard part. I need to get up these steps, and I actually did try to use bombs, but I was using them inefficiently. In the Power of Fire, I realized that standing farther away from the ledge gives me the space to get on the ledge. So instead of standing right next to the ledge, I stood as far away as I could, used 2 bombs, and easily found my way up. I did this 4 times in a row and finished off another shrine. Shy Yoda is up next, and this is the first shrine where I can't get into it. I can break all of the rocks and create the gust of wind that you're supposed to use to land on the shrine platform, but I'm pretty sure you need to land on it after paragliding specifically. I tried for a while to blow myself off a Krynos block, but it never managed to work, so I'm going to throw in the towel. Daga Keek is a similar situation, as you need to land on a shrine platform yet again, but first let's do a spot the difference. Here's me running off a ledge and attacking, and paragliding and attacking. The platform only responds to an attack after paragliding for some reason, meaning I can't even open the shrine. Tamul was another one where I didn't use bombs correctly, but going back just now, it was really easy. And that's the last one, I promise. Wind Guide is up next, and it was one of my favorites, so I was disappointed when I couldn't beat it. It brings back the raised platform, but even when full sprinting, I can't quite reach the next area. Out of desperation, I tried reaching the chest platform and just managed to land on it. From there, I used the extra height and blew myself over to the next platform. But then I'm expected to glide up this passage, and it's a clear soft lock. There's another launch platform, but it doesn't get quite enough height to get on the next platform. It's an annoying way to lose, but let's move on. The winding route drops you in a room full of lava and expects you to glide. A mid-air bomb isn't anywhere near enough to reach the next platform, and since I'm falling straight into a massive pool of lava, there's not a whole lot I can do. The Wind Guides You features gaps that are just a little too big, and the Path of Hidden Winds is a definite no-go. So let's look at the final impossible shrine, Blue Flame. I originally quit in the very beginning because I couldn't get onto these steps, but after remembering that bombs exist, I easily solved that issue. From there I continued as intended until I got to these platforms. I can get the first platform pretty easily, but the next one is just a little too far. But even if I were to perfectly launch myself and get to the next platform, I then have to make this gap, which not only goes pretty far, but also forces me to go up, which I can't do. With all the shrines cleared up, I can officially say that 112 shrines are possible and 8 are impossible. This challenge was incredibly fun, so make sure to give the shrines a try, and if you complete one that I deemed impossible, make sure to leave a comment, as I'd be very interested to see how you did it. If you have any video ideas, make sure to comment them below, and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.